So if we call a middle-class household a household that makes between $75,000 and $150,000 a year, middle class, so what would you say the chances are that a household making $75,000 a year would be able to retire as early or earlier than a household making $100,000 a year? The answer might surprise you, because of the households that make $100,000 a year, only half of them are saving a dime for retirement. Well, if you're not saving anything and you get into your mid to late 40s and early 50s and you haven't saved any money yet, you could be in real trouble. And unless you want to go into more like the FIRE movement where you're saving 50 to 70% of your income, it's going to be hard. Okay, so I want you to remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. So for financial advice, seek out a fee-only fiduciary financial advisor. All right, so let's get back to it. So in a survey of millionaires, it came out that 1/3 of the millionaires in the survey would never made $100,000 in their household income. Yeah, they never made $100,000, yet they became millionaires. Why? Because they learned to save, they learned to invest, and they took care of their money and made sure they were putting something away for a rainy day, and it paid off for them. So personally, I would think that a household that is saving 10 to 20% of their income for retirement, and they start sometime in their 20s and work all the way through to 60 years old, maybe 65, I would say has a much better chance of retiring than someone who does well in their career and they're making 100 to 150,000 a year, but they only start saving when they hit 45 years old. I would say their chances are pretty poor that they're going to hit that number that they want to be able to retire. Now, the other thing to remember is a household that's making $75,000 a year is probably driving a Toyota or a Honda, has a modestly priced house, whereas the people making over $100,000 a year, their lifestyle is probably much different than that person making the $75,000 a year. Even though it's only $25,000 a year, that's still going to be a big difference in the lifestyle or the way that they're spending their money. Now, off of that subject a little bit, another thing that really is hurting the middle class is a lot of the middle class are saying, I'm going to depend on Social Security, I'm going to depend on my pension, and they kind of focus in on a sole income stream. And, a retirement is supposed to be more of a three-legged stool. So if you're depending on only Social Security, that's only one leg of the stool. If you're only planning on a pension, that's only one leg. That could be your second leg. So you could have Social Security, you could have a pension, and you could have your investments, could be the three-legged stool. But if you're missing one of those three legs, it could be a tough road for you to try to, have the type of retirement that you want. And another leg that you can put under your stool to replace, like, say, your pension could be some real estate of some kind of investment in real estate that's another income stream. And another thing that can really be devastating is if you're underinsured. And what I mean by that mainly is health insurance. I got caught in that trap. Luckily, it was before I went ahead and retired that I realized that my health insurance was going to be more like $1,700 a month. And that was partially due to my income streams not being diverse enough, and that my income was going to be too high to actually use the Affordable Care Act. So I ended up using my company's insurance, which was a much better deal. It's saving me about $500 a month. But paying for insurance can really be an expense that you have got to look at before you retire. If you try to go it without insurance, you could have something happen like what happened to me. You know, I got a subdermal hematoma, and that is going to be a devastating bill. Luckily, our insurance will pick up most of it, but still, we're going to have a lot of out-of-pocket expenses with that. So take a real close look at your health insurance before you get ready to retire. And if you've gotten something from this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd reach down there, hit that like button, and go ahead and watch this video next.